Hello and welcome to another rousing edition of Trending Topics with BB. I am your humble host, Brooke Brown, hence the BB. Well, we are back for another rousing episode to close out 2018. It has been a year of growth for this podcast. So first and foremost, I want to thank every person who has found this podcast wherever podcasts may be found. And along those lines, the housekeeping is as follows. Please log on to trendingtopicswithbbpodcast.com. That is the official website for this podcast. There you can find every link to this podcast that I have found thus far. Or you could just simply Google Trending Topics with BB. You will find the same links. But if you want it all in one awesome, convenient list, head over to that website, which again is trendingtopicswithbbpodcast.com. You will find a blog post that says, where else can I find this podcast? And it lists pretty much every directory and feed to find this podcast. Along those lines, I want to reiterate, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, please email the podcast at bbmediaindustries@gmail.com. Again, that's where you can do any comments, concerns, questions, shout-outs. And in the new year, there might be some exciting news and changes to the podcast in terms of more bonus episodes. So hopefully 2019 brings on those, but more information then. So the following episode is a chat with another wonderful producer, DJ, and artist in the trance world. And before I introduce you, I want to also preface with the fact that a lot of these chats, if you have not listened to previous episodes, are recorded via Google Voice if they are long distance. Again, in the new year, we're looking into possible new apps that will allow for better audio quality. So I apologize if the audio really makes it sound like we're talking on the phone, because we were. But nonetheless, I'm talking about Ciaran McAuley. He had an epic 2018. We met at the meet and greet that allowed me to interview Ram, which was the previous episode, and the episode before that, Astrosphere, which was Drift Moon and Robert Nixon. So we met then, but didn't get a chance to sit down due to time constraints, but we were able to chat on this phone conversation via long distance, about trance and what is exciting, and also something that's really cool with one of the tracks that he just released in honor of someone's memory. So without really ruining and further ado, I give you my chat with Ciaran McAuley. Today's sponsor is Vibration. Vibration provides designer hydration packs designed to make you look cool, keep your stuff safe, and stay hydrated at music festivals and events. Their holographic designs add to your festival ensemble. Make sure you get your pack using promo code BB Media Industries LLC to save 10% on your new pack on Vibration.com. Oh, and one more thing. Free shipping on orders over $75. Hashtag life's a party. Stay hydrated.
All right, great. So, thanks again for wanting to chat on my podcast. We didn't get a chance to during the meet and greet because there was just a lot going on.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was good.
That's awesome. So let's kind of start with, so you're in the States right now.
Yeah.
Anything exciting to report other than what we'll talk about the track getting to number one in a minute, but anything exciting going on since Dream State?
Well, I'm in the States because I was in Toronto on Friday night, and I'm just over now. While I'm in the States, I came to visit a friend in LA just a few days before Christmas. Yeah, it's time to switch off and soak up Christmas. I'm a big family person, so I'm looking forward to a bit of me time. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool.
So you mentioned the track at number one, the Future Sound of Egypt track. There's been a lot of hype from it. It was a big track in my set at Dream State. Also today I've just put out my Dido remix. I did a remix of Dido Here With Me. I'm not sure if you remember it, but it's been a big
I
track in
do.
my set.
I remember hearing it at Dream State because I was there for your set.
Yeah, it's been a big track all year for me. I did it for my Luminosity set, and it just went down so well. I've played it every gig since. Everyone's been asking for it, and it's been a big sing-along for me. Yeah, it's a real lovely track. So I put it out today, and the feedback's been great on it also.
That's great. So to kind of piggyback on this, I'm excited your track went to number 1, but I actually heard it, was it last week or the week before Armin played it on A State of Trance and kind of told the story a little bit more with Ruben. And yeah, it was nice to hear it then. So can you, without, I don't know if you want to tell kind of the story behind the track and why it's so great, because I just love the track all around. And once I heard the story, it kind of made more sense to me. But do you want to kind of tell the story of the track?
Yeah, of course. So I was approached a few months back by a Dutch nurse who looks after sick kids. And she told me that this little girl's family are big fans of my music. And she told me the story of the illness the little one had. And, it touched me straight away. So, yeah, so I started putting this track together for the girl. We thought she had several years left, maybe 2-3 years. So the track was titled Never Fade Away, of course. And I think it was a couple of days before Dream State. I had a message on Facebook that she had sad news for me, and I just knew that's what it was, and it really hit me. She'd passed just the week before Dream State, and at Dream State I told Ruben the story, and he was touched by it also, and yeah, so that's what it is. That's where it's sort of it blew up from that, but it's been so nice as a family. The whole story behind it, with them being trans fans, it's just a great send off for the little one. It's so many people know the story now. It's touched so many people, and yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad that it's being well received. So because it's a beautiful track. So to kind of, the number one question I usually ask is kind of the origin story of how you fell in love with trance and how you got into making trance.
God, it's been a long time. I went to Creamfield. I'm sure you know Creamfield, yeah. It's a big UK festival. Sorry, actually they're global now, but I think probably at 15, 16 I went to a Cream event in Liverpool, UK, with my older brother, and I just fell in love with Paul Oakenfold actually. Yeah, just started getting into the clubbing scene, and I got my first set of turntables with my brother back then. We shared the turntables, and I just got I'm so obsessed with the trance scene, and here I am today.
Awesome. So it's just kind of been a journey, and does your brother still share the same love you do, or?
No, he still listens to the same Paul Oakenfold sets that we did when we were younger. He hasn't progressed. He's a family man now, and he still loves the music, but it's just the obsession that I chase. It's led me to here.
Cool. And going forward, like with the scene, what kind of attracted you to the overall theme of trance?
Probably there's something to the trance thing. I'm sure you can hear it within my music. It's just it's very the whole trance family, that sort of thing. People connecting and going to events, and everyone just the atmosphere, and it's just something that I really fell in love with, and it's one thing I try and keep within my own sound. That sort of old trance feel that I once fell in love with. I feel that the industry's lost that. So.
And
yeah.
do you agree that it's kind of a passionate, like, fan community?
Oh, definitely, yeah. That's maybe the word I was looking for. Yeah, passionate. You know, so, some of the gigs I go to, like the gig I did the other night in Toronto, it wasn't a big gig by any means, but everyone was there for me. Everyone was queuing up for autographs, signatures. Everyone knew my music. It was great. It's a real passionate bunch, yeah.
And being that you do travel and you're well ingrained in the scene, what was your thoughts of Dream State and the U.S. scene compared to maybe where you're from or even Toronto?
Well, I would say Dream State's probably been the highlight of my year. Well, the meet and greet, especially beforehand, as you've seen, it was busy, and again, yeah, the passionate crowd. You know, everyone was queuing up with their flags. Everyone was looking at autographs, and I don't think it's like that back home, or maybe in Europe as such. You do get the passionate crowd, but you know, over here it's as if it's more glamorous for the DJs coming over. I think it was the Dream State gig has definitely been I would say a turning point in my career. I think there's been a lot of requests, a lot of talk from that gig. So I think 2019 will be a big year in the States for me.
That's great.
Yeah.
Like, there seems to be kind of a debate among others that I've spoke to about, you know, DJing versus producing and both. Obviously you create beautiful songs, so, I mean, you have a passion of producing, but what is your thoughts on the DJ side of trance? Because there seems to be, well, I guess maybe because I'm ingrained in it myself, I find that there's kind of like this debate.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on, and if they could work together?
From a business point of view, the way to make it in the scene these days is about being heard, and obviously the best way to be heard is to produce music. So the best way to scream. It is something I hear a lot as well. People talking about DJs and producers, but for me, I think standing on stage or even getting a booking is for me to come and showcase my own sound. You know, I hear a lot of people talk about people mixing and their DJ sets and stuff, but I think I personally think that if you're booking a DJ, you should be booking them to perform their music. You know, you wouldn't you wouldn't book Madonna to come and play someone else's music. You know. that's
I agree. So, I mean, is there an issue with, I don't know, promoters and people telling certain people what they can and cannot play? Because to be honest, I've seen people that I love in trance be told that they can't really play trance, and they've played something completely different. I've seen that in the past, and it's interesting because you know everybody's frustrated. So,
yeah,
is there a way to kind of combat that going forward?
God, I'm not sure. Obviously, that's obviously an issue with the promoters trying to keep, because the whole EDM boom, trance sort of fizzled out a bit. Not that it fizzled out, but it wasn't probably selling as many tickets for the clubs. So maybe it was a way to keep the trance DJs getting bookings. Maybe, I don't know. It's not something I enjoy doing. I'm very particular with my sound, and it's something I'm actually struggling to do with Holy Waters at the minute. You know, the Holy Waters project I'm doing with Roxanne is we do want to try and go slightly more mainstream, but I keep putting my trance element to it because that's me. So it's, yeah, I know what you mean, but I don't know the answer.
Right. And along those lines, I mean, I like what I've heard and seen from you and Roxanne. So, I mean, collaboratively, like, how did that project come about?
I mean, I spoke with Roxanne about doing some tracks with Ciaran McAuley, as Roxanne and Ciaran, and we've been talking back and forwards for a while, and then one day I received an email from Roxanne with pitched this idea to me about creating a trance act, you know, a performance, and I jumped at the opportunity. Of course, I love Roxanne's voice, and just from that, everything just fell into place. And Roxanne has a good business head on her, so she got a photographer involved. There's a team behind us. There's 4 of us in total, and yeah, we actually had a Skype call today. Really exciting 2019 ahead of us. So yeah, it's something I want to do on the side, and try and keep the sound separate, but it's quite tough when I'm obsessed with the trance thing, you know.
Right. I mean, a lot of people know Roxanne from, like myself, more from her trance, you know, vocals. So, I mean, I could see that, but I think, I don't know, like, I'm excited to hear because, you know, I love the performance at Dream City. I thought that was great, and I'm looking forward to kind of hearing more from you guys going forward.
Yeah. The Dream State, the performance of Dream State was the Little White Lies track, which is something we need to be careful of because it's been in the conversation of, the highlight of the conversation today actually. I've made that track just as a Ciaran McAuley track really, and we've put it out as Holy Waters. So we're trying to differentiate between Holy Waters and Ciaran McAuley at the minute, you know. So the next track is probably going to be a cover we've did of Foo Fighters, Times Like These. It's a more along the progressive sound, like the first track we did, Amsterdam. So
okay.
Yeah, so it's, you know, we've come into this thing, and because it's quite new to us, we're probably still teasing, maybe if you want to call it. We're going with what feels good and sounds good.
Right. And along those lines, are you looking to collaborate with any other artists?
With Holy Water, sorry, or Ciaran McAuley?
Or no, just as yourself.
Ciaran, yeah. Of course, yeah. I'm actually in talks with Sue McLaren, and also there's been a little tease with Christina Novelli. Hopefully that one will come off next year. But yeah, I'm always open for collaboration. And even Holy Waters, Roxanne, has been speaking with a few vocalists, and with a new track coming out with one of Garth's previous vocalists that did his track Reckless. Do you remember Garth Emery's Reckless track?
I do.
Yeah, we've just done a new track, Holy Waters track with her. God, I mean, oh God. Let's not put this in the interview. I'm forgetting the girl's name. It's
That's exciting.
Yeah, the track's called River. It's a beautiful track. Yeah, it's going to be another one for next year. So yeah, Roxanne she's always looking for people to collaborate with. We're looking for a male vocalist. Yeah, and again, it's just going with what's fun. You know, we're just trying to keep it different as well.
Awesome. So, in terms of like genres in trance, you have like a favorite subgenre? Thoughts on? I mean, I love your sound. Obviously, people that are maybe new to the trance scene may not know kind of, history and kind of understanding genres and the subgenres within trance. But being that you released with kind of a label that's known for more uplifting tracks, is that kind of the sound you're looking for, or is it you want to evolve that over time?
Sorry, what do you mean? Which labels do I work with, or is it you mean me starting my own label?
No, not necessarily just a label, just kind of what in terms of your sound, like it's uplifting. I loved it. I mean, I felt like the crowd was just, great spirits at Dream State. So
yeah, well, for the past few years, I've worked with Pure Trance, Grotesque, Future Sound of Egypt, Black Hole, even Garuda. But it was just a case of finding a label that really worked with me and was going to get behind me. And to be honest, it's been Grotesque has probably did the most for me. Me and Ram are quite close, and he's really helped me out. But my sound probably suits more the Alien Feel It, Future Sound of Egypt, which was the latest number one. I actually had my first number one with Future Sound of Egypt last year, around this time last year, called Free Your Mind.
Oh, I do remember that track, yeah.
Yeah, this is my first number one. It was on Future Sound of Egypt also. But, like I said, it's, the sound that I go for is, it's just from all the guys who inspired me from a young age, and I've sort of put them together and created my own take on my youth, But there's very few DJs in the scene. I feel have that uplifting sound.
Great. So I know we're approaching the end of this year, and as you mentioned, 2019, you'll be pretty busy, I imagine.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
So, is there anything special you're looking forward to next year, other than, or is it more continuing the path forward from here?
Well, I'm looking forward to the next year's festivals. Some of the tracks, also the project that I'm working on. I've actually just done started a collaboration, a project. Thrill Seekers?
Yes, I love Thrill Seekers.
Yeah. So I'm a huge fan of his sound, and I have been for many years, but I've started remixing his track, How Will I Know, for Future Sound of Egypt, which is sounding beautiful.
Well, that's awesome. I can't wait to hear that.
Yeah. I'm collaborating with Harry Corson and Paul Van Dyke. And then the Holy Water stuff as well, so it's there's just so much going on. It's crazy.
That's exciting. Well, I'm excited
it really
to hear
is.
it all. Hopefully, as we're building here in Phoenix, maybe one day you'll play here. That'd be awesome.
I hope so.
Oh, great. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I did want to chat and let people know. I'll put the links to your socials and to the track in the description of the episode. But is there anything I may have missed?
I don't think so. Well, there's a lot on my social media, so if you're looking at any information, there'll be plenty there.
Okay, great. Well, thanks again. Nice talking to you. Have a good night.
All right, thank you very much. Cheerio.
Today's sponsor is Audible.com, who has more than 180,000 audiobooks and spoken word audio products. Get a free audiobook of your choice at www.audibletrial.com/ Trending Topics with BB.